Well, howdy everybody. Today I'm going to share with all of you how to buy cheap airfare. So I was recently trying to buy a flight to China and I realized two things. I realized one, I'm broke and I don't have a lot of money to spend on a ticket. And two, I don't actually know the best way to get a ticket to China. So I did a bunch of research and it turned out this applies to flying to anywhere. So I want to share all that with you. So here we go. First off, don't fly. If that's an option, don't do it. So let me explain that a little bit. So when I've been traveling the United States, sometimes I find this, hey, it's just a lot cheaper if I drive or if I take a bus or if I get on a train. We don't really have a lot of those in the United States. The best trick I've actually ever heard in this kind of like mini scope of this bigger conversation is look on Craigslist. So if let's say you're trying to get to New York, go look at other cities that are on Craigslist. So let's say Los Angeles, and see if anyone's trying to transport anything. So be it an old car, or be it an RV, or maybe it's a bus, or maybe it's just some expensive furniture or something. A lot of times you can go on Craigslist for another city and actually find somebody who's looking to go to the city that you want, so they'll actually pay you to drive their stuff there. So instead of having to pay for airfare, you actually get paid to make the trip. Plus road trips are pretty cool. All right, the next one is use miles, right? So I use United for most of my flights. And the reason I do this is because for international flights, it's really, really good as far as availability for flights and upgrades for first class. Oh yeah. They're also part of the Star Alliance. It could be One World. I'm gonna go Star Alliance though. So they are teamed up so that when I get lots of miles for them using different credit cards and whatnot, I can use that on other people's airlines. So the easiest way to do this is if you want to go somewhere, look for credit card offers, assuming you're smart with credit cards, right? And use that so you can get the bonus miles up front so you can pay for your trip for free. I don't know if you pay for something for free, but you kind of get the idea there, right? Next up is batch your flights. So this is actually a personal favorite of mine. If you want to go to Iceland, for example, buy a plane ticket to London that happens to stop in Iceland. So it's way cheaper to do it this way. And if you want to stay in Iceland, you don't actually have to get onto the second flight. So airlines won't tell you this because it's, I don't know, it's kind of dangerous or something for them, or I don't even really know why. I've purposely missed the second flight twice, and I've had no bad repercussions. What am I on? Number 4? So let's say I don't have miles, which like I say, I run out, or I can't find anything on Craigslist. I can't find it on a batch flight. What I'll do instead is I'll go on hipmonk.com first. I'll link to that down here probably. What I like about it is it's an aggregator of flights, which is, there's a lot of websites like this, but this one takes into account details like layovers and the airports you're gonna be going to. And so it takes the kind of the human parts of flight rather than just like the takeoff time and the airline and the time you're gonna land, and adds what it calls an ecstasy score. So it'll tell you, hey, this is actually a great flight because it's not a red eye and you're not gonna end up in like, I don't know, Dubai. And actually Dubai is a terrible example there because Dubai would actually be a lot of fun. But let's say Kansas. Sorry, people from Kansas, but you probably don't have the internet, so you probably can't see this video. Hipmonk is usually where I start. That's where I do my first like iterations trying to find the flight. It also gives you a scope on what it is because it tells you, hey, here's the good flights, here's the bad ones. This is basically how much you're gonna pay. After I do that, go to kayak.com. So kayak.com, I think it's the biggest aggregator on the internet of flights and hotels and other things. What's nice about it is it gives you a lot more filtering options and actually a lot more airlines than Hipmonk. Hipmonk is where I tend to find the flights that I end up buying, but Kayak lets me just double check, hey, is there some budget airline that I maybe haven't heard of or is not available through Hipmonk? And so I just basically double check myself there. And honestly, let's say I buy 10 flights, 9 of them I'll probably find the right one on Hipmonk, so it's just faster. But every once in a while I'll find a great deal on Kayak, so I always make sure to try that. After I've tried those options, the next thing I do is I go to the carrier's flight. I do this right before I actually purchase the site. So the people who own hipmonk.com and Kayak probably hate me for doing this because it means sometimes they don't get the affiliate fees. Sorry guys, you're probably not gonna link to me now. What can I say? But what I do is I check and see if the carrier will actually offer me the flight for less. And I've actually seen this go both ways. I've seen where like when I buy a flight on Hipmonk, that sometimes Hipmonk will give me a better deal than say United will. Sometimes though, and this has only happened to me I think twice, when I look at the flight on Hipmonk, it'll give me one price, let's say it's $100 US. When I go to United, it'll actually offer it to me for 80. So like I said, this has only happened a couple times, but you know, I like saving 20 bucks. Everyone likes to try to save some money. So now I've made it a habit to check the carrier that's listed on Hipmonk directly through the carrier's website before I actually purchase the ticket to see if it's cheaper. And if that doesn't work, you're not totally out of luck. You have one other option. What I try to do is keep my schedule flexible. So what I'll do is I'll set up alerts on kayak.com and on Hipmonk also, so that they'll alert me if there's a cheaper flight that they find when someone else searches for it. For that, check out kayak.com, of course, hipmonk.com, and farecompare.com, and there's also an ISO app for that. Those are all my tips for finding cheap airfare. I hope that helps you just, get out traveling for not a lot of money, right? That's kind of the entire purpose of this video. If you got any questions you want me to cover, let me know in the comments down there. Otherwise, subscribe right there.